Alright, so I'm a little late, but that's perfectly okay. And honestly, I kind of had a flow to where I wanted to go with this. And I'm not sure where it went. I kind of been scrambling a little bit, and I'm kind of in my head right now, so I'm not sure if it's all going to come together. Worst case scenario, it's going to be that time in high school where we're doing theater. We're doing this little 2-act play in a restaurant, and one of the things I was supposed to eat was this flaming dessert. It was like a crepe something, whatever. And the way to get it to burn was to put blackberry brandy on it and light it on fire. When it got out to me, they forgot to light it on fire. And I was just in character. I just carried on and ate the thing. And when I did that, Richie learned about what happens when you consume brandy at 15. He forgot the rest of his lines. Hi, Simon. Nice to see you, my friend. And then it went right off the tracks. Hi, Leslie. Good to see you. Right off the tracks. And I was, angrier than usual. And I didn't put two and two together until the next morning when I woke up hungover. Oh, well. So it could end up being like that. But anyway, today I'm going to talk about permissions real quick. And a lot of times we get wired up into our heads that we need to have this approval or someone's permission to do or say or act in a certain way. And, it may or may not come from our wiring, our childhood. It may or may not. But sometimes you feel like you can't say this one thing in presence of a family member or a coworker because, what are they going to say? Are they going to judge? Are they going to think less of me? Does that ring bells for anybody? I bet it does. And ask yourself why. Is it because you feel like you need their approval? I'll tell you that. Let me kind of share a few points. First one I can think of is, for the most part, whatever judgment somebody has or doesn't have doesn't really have all that much to do with you. You might just happen to be there. But it has everything to do with their perceptions and their own wiring. Second, a lot of the times they probably care a lot less than you think. And third, who the fuck cares what they think? That's kind of the important one. If somebody's judgment, what's up, Christy? Long time no speak, is what is keeping you from doing you, then they're giving you permission to kick them loose from your life. Just let them make sure that their ass doesn't hit the door on the way out. Because I'll tell you this. Some people are going, not everybody's going to like everything you do or say. That's not a bad thing, by the way. But there's a difference between, I'm not sure I agree with the one thing you did, but, or not, or if they support you. If they don't support you, they got to go. And I'll tell you this, I've been really lucky with some of the decisions I've made in the last, year and change. That I've really only had like one or two people that really were not supportive. And it was things that kind of reared themselves up from back in the day. It really had nothing to do with what was going on now. And it was just really a message that I needed to receive, that they needed to go. Not because I had any sort of, bitterness or anything like that. There's nothing but love. But if you can't support me as I am, you can't be my friend. You can't have permission to control the type of person I get to be. Likewise, the same with you. If I start judging you for the person you are, I don't deserve to be in your life. Alpha, Omega, bang, done. And that goes to other aspects of life too. Yes, when you're a kid, your parents get to tell you to not run through traffic. They get to tell you to not put the Superman cape on and fly off the roof. They get to tell you when you're 14 you can't go cross country with your friends. That's just common sense. But within the boundaries of your own safety, you get to learn how to be who you are. And if you don't get that, it's because they have their own issue they have to work out. Hi, Anita. Nice to see you, my friend. And you know what? Sometimes at work, the boss gets to tell you no because maybe he or she can't offer you something they can't offer everybody else. That can be a thing. But if it's not, light or right to you, and if it's not jiving up with who you are, or if, you're getting picked on or you're getting piled on, we get it in our heads, and life teaches us that we have to be dependent on that, and we have to do the dance. That's bullshit. The only thing we're obligated to is a 2 weeks notice. If it's not right for you. But that in mind, most things you can make right, and you can come up with understandings, and you can get on the same page. And you'll know eventually if it's time to move on or not. So, we don't need a whole mass of people quitting their job up front. But we also don't need a whole bunch of people being miserable because they feel like they're being weighed down either. And in the end, whatever people come, whatever people go, whatever we're taught and whatever crazy wiring we've got working in our head from our formation and things that we've learned along the way, it takes some work and it takes some reframing, but you can change it. And it's something I can help you out with if it feels like something you want to talk to me about. Sorry you're dealing with that, Anita. That sucks. But in the end, when the smoke clears, you only need permission from one person and one person only, and that's yourself. Everything else is just an excuse. Sometimes the excuse looks really big. I get it. I've lived that myself, 6 different ways from Saturday. I'm not coming from this and anything other than my own experience and the different ways that I've foobarred it. So, but I also can tell you that as you start to see life as it is rather than through our shoulds and other bullshit, stuff becomes clearer. And that's really about all I got to say. I got to go and read a little bit. If you're interested, I do have a group where we work on stuff like this and kind of work through our own ideas and our own, different levels of shit called Team Beacon. And I'll be on there at about 7:30 Eastern. So about what time is it? All right, it's 4:35 my time. So in about 3 hours, I'll be on in that group. And we're going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects, fear. And it's such a driver for everything. And we think it's anger, we think it's hate, and we think it's all this other shit, but it's all fear that drives everything. Fear is the opposite of love. And there are so many weaves and bobs and angles to that we're going to start working through a little bit in there tonight. So if you're interested in jumping on, just, find a link. I've posted it a bunch of different places. If you can't find it, shoot me a message and I'll get you in there. Well, let me take a look at this, Anita. Resume redone, PA nursing license in the process of acquiring, and it need account updated. And I'm going to tell you this, somebody out there is going to get one kick-ass nurse. And I can't wait to see how that plays out for you. And I was just so honored to get to hang out with you for a weekend in Arizona. And you are just, big sister from another mister. I love you. And I can't wait to see how your story works out because there's nothing but magic in you. Did so, Christy? Can we go back to Arizona? Well, actually, you know what? No. I saw posts from Carissa and Wendy and other people in Arizona, and it's cold and snowing out there. So let's not go back to Arizona this week, but maybe another day. But anyway, that's what I got to say. If you've got, oh, thank you. You know, if this kind of triggers something with you, you want to talk about it, hit me up. And like I said, if you want to join me in Team Beacon at 7:30, we're gonna go take on fear. Anyway, I'm gonna go take on a cafe mocha. So yes, and you've got mine. So anyway, you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. I'll see some of you soon, and for everybody else, take care. Much love. Bye-bye.